Welcome to the Dietitian Side Hustle podcast. My name is Katie Dodd, and I am a nutrition entrepreneur. But here's the catch. I have a full-time traditional dietitian job. My entrepreneurial endeavors are my side hustle. I've been making six figures through my job and side hustle doing things that I love. If I can do it, you can too. This podcast is for dietitians, interns, and students who want to be inspired to start or perfect the side hustle of their dreams. Let's do this. Welcome to the 48th episode of the Dietitian Side Hustle podcast, Millionaire Mindset. In this episode, I interview my business coach, Greg Todd, all about the millionaire mindset. So you guys, if you are not in the Dietitian Side Hustle Facebook group, you need to make sure that you head on over and join. Every single Monday night at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time, I am going live in the Facebook group for the Dietitian Side Hustle live show. So this past Monday, Greg joined me on the live show, and so what you're going to be hearing is a recording from that event. So if you remember to join the group every Monday, 5:30, you can join me live as we have a conversation about all things side hustle. But this episode, this show was special. So I want you to be prepared to be inspired, motivated, and have a serious shift in your mindset. You guys, this episode is gold, and I am so excited for you to listen. We are live. So I'm going to give it just a minute for people to log on, because I know I've been sharing in this group, sharing on Instagram. I sent out an email to my email list. So I'm hoping that we get some people on today, because as I've told them, they're going to want to join us for this conversation. It's going to be so good. So we've already got about 5 people coming in, and I know more will be coming in. So I guess I'll start off by introducing my special guest on today's Dietitian Side Hustle live show. This is the one and only Greg Todd. He is my business coach, and Greg has these really cool sound effects. I wish I had him right now to like do some cool music, but I'm just so excited to have Greg in the group. If you've been following me for a little bit, you probably often hear me talk about Greg and say, my business coach says, or my business coach said. So this is him. This is GT. This is Greg Todd. And Greg is a physical therapist. So I first kind of came into Greg's world through a few dietitians who were already in Greg's world. And I ended up joining his program called the 2120 Healthcare Challenge back in January of 2020. And I will say, and I'll share this again later, it radically changed the direction of my business and really my life. At that time, I had just started the month before this little thing called the Dietitian Side Hustle podcast, had no idea what it would look like as far as a business. I had been into blogging for 6 months at that point and signed up for this challenge. And I learned so much amazing stuff. From there, I proceeded to pretty much take every single course Greg has ever offered and continue to participate in his business mastermind. And I'm currently in his year-long business mastermind. And I am just so excited to have you on the show.
Thank you so much, Katie. You're amazing, by the way. Okay. And I'm sure that all of the people that are in this group can vouch for what I just said. You're amazing. You can only be a great coach if you have great students. And you are an amazing, amazing, amazing student. And I just love working with you. You're fantastic. So I hope to bring value to your audience today.
Thank you so much. So diving into the questions I have. So, I want the group to get to know you a little bit more and the journey that you've been on. So if you could share with everyone the journey of how you got started as a healthcare professional in a traditional job to where you are now as a healthcare professional who is a millionaire and loves what he does. So share your story.
Okay. So I am the anti-entrepreneur. Okay. I got into healthcare because I didn't want to be an entrepreneur. We can get into a little bit of that story. My mom is not the entrepreneur. My dad is an entrepreneur, and he has been with a financial services company for nearly 40 years now. My mom was worked with an orthopedic surgeon, and she was one of those medical transcriptionists. So that's like the people that would take the orthopedic surgeon's notes, their recordings of their dictations, and she would type them up. I basically started doing my mom's job for her. and that's how my mom went to my younger brother's baseball games. I would stay home and I would do it. I would listen to him, and she knew I was slower than her, but I knew how to type. I started learning about the humerus, the femur, this, that, da, 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 da. And it got me interested in medicine. And my mom introduced me to the orthopedic surgeon that she worked for. I thought that's what I wanted to do. And he said, he just had a bad day, y'all. And he said, don't do what I do because I'm on my fourth wife. And I was like, golly, that sucks. He said, do what those people do. Those physical therapists. Now, I wish I had a greater story for y'all that I tore my knee ligament. No, that's really what happened. And I just said, all right, let me go home and let me go look at things I could do. Let me look at this physical therapy thing. And I saw these magazines about the most in-demand jobs, and occupational therapy was on there. Pharmacy was on there. Dietetics and nutrition was on there. Physical therapy was on there. I was like, you know what? Let me do physical therapy. And that's what happened. I wanted a job that was stable. I didn't want risk. So no way I'm going to do it. I wanted to be the opposite of my father. And I love my dad. But as amazing as his entrepreneurial journey was, all I could remember is when I was a teenager, I could remember about 2 years where my dad wasn't doing well. I equated my parents' marital problems to my dad not doing well. So I just equated entrepreneurship to destroying marriages. And so fast forward to 2000, I become a physical therapist. In 2004, early 2004, I'm having marital problems. And I was not an entrepreneur. And it's because I didn't have the time in my job to be able to spend with my wife. She was pregnant with our second child. I was working probably about, 12 to 16 hour days. Most days I was working as a clinic director for a facility. I was also working on a professional tennis store. And I realized that I was at this crossroads. I was going to potentially lose my marriage if I didn't get this thing in order, which is my time and figuring out how I'm going to move my career up. So you guys, I just went for it. And I did the thing that I said I would never do, which is become an entrepreneur. So I became an entrepreneur. I had a clinic in 2005. Today we have 3 clinics. We're going to open up a 4th. I have a staffing agency in the Philippines where we have, I think, 68 employees or something like that there. I run a coaching business, and I've helped, I think the last that I kept track of it was 865 people start their first business, and it's in 19 different healthcare professions. So it started as for physical therapists, and then it went to occupational therapists, and it went to registered dietitians. And now it's 19 different healthcare professional types that have started a business, grown a business to either, 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures. We even have a few people that are now at the multi 7-figure mark. And this has been a blessing. And it's all coming from the anti-entrepreneur. That's my story.
I love the anti-entrepreneur. I relate to that story because I never self-identified as an entrepreneur. Before I was a dietitian major, I was a business major, got out of business. Really? So I was like, I can't help people through business. And now here we are helping people through business.
Oh, the irony. Oh, the irony. So, yes. So that's the big thing. I think one of the big things, and Katie, we talked about this today in our class, I guess you want to call it, is that, there's this thought that, I'm not the entrepreneurial type. I'm like, who is? What is that? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. Even one of my childhood friends, he reached out to me on Instagram the other day, and he was basically sending me lyrics from a song. I used to babysit him. Okay. All right. So he's a police officer now. Again, I used to babysit this guy, and basically sending me these lyrics. And the lyrics are about, it's this rapper guy that lives in Tampa, and it's about being a multimillionaire. He's like, I heard these lyrics and I thought of you. He's like, listen, man, some of us are not the entrepreneurial type. We're not entrepreneurs, so we have to live through you. And I was like, do I want to have an argument with the kid I used to babysit? I was like, but this is what I wanted to tell him. I'm like, who is the entrepreneurial type? Like who is that? I was like, because I know that's not me. I just had really big reasons. And I don't know, my marriage was much more important than me keeping that job and staying stable. What was the stability getting me? I thought it was going to get me a great marriage. It was actually destroying my marriage. So for me, it's like, you can become whatever you want. Yep. It just depends on how bad your situation is. Yep. That's it.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
So this kind of ties in with my next question. So in this group, we have a wide variety of dietitians. So we have those dietitians who are full-time entrepreneurs. We have side hustlers, and we have what I call side hustlers to be. So there's people who want to start a side hustle, but haven't started yet. And we even have students in this group. So dietetic interns and undergrad students and grad students. So while everyone in this group has kind of different goals, I think that everyone in the group could agree that we all want to be making more money. We all want to have more time to do what we love to do. And we all want to make massive impact. It's why we became dietitians. So
Gotcha.
I think where we differ in this group, I think there's a couple of categories of people, and where we differ is in our belief in what is possible. Right. Now, since working with you, I've grown to believe that like anything is possible with my business. I look back to when I started my side hustle and my goal was to make $300 per month. Like legitimately. And now I'm like bringing in $5,000 per month, and my goals are way bigger than I would have even dared to say out loud in the past. Right. So you've been a massive source of inspiration for me. So I'm hoping that you can share some words of wisdom with this group about belief and the possibilities that we can have as healthcare professionals.
Yeah, gosh. Okay. I'm going to say something to you all. And I don't think I've ever said this, because I'm like one of the, I'm like the king of the side hustle, right? And you're like the queen for dietitian side hustle. Okay. You want to know what I'm going to tell you all? If I had to give one piece of advice to all of you, it would be that, okay, we can call it a side hustle, but don't look at it as a side hustle anymore. Mm-hmm. Look at it as a project. This is my current project. And my project is going to turn into my purpose. Okay. Like, Katie, I want you to think about, last year when you started, 2120, that was a side hustle, but I don't think you would call what you're doing right now. I mean, I know what has happened in your business. That's not a side hustle anymore. Like, that project has now turned into your purpose. It's turned into your mission. I would say to you all that sometimes the notion of side hustle can also make us just dabble in it, right? So I kind of got this on the side. Like, let's, that's fine. And by the way, the definition is okay, but let's look at what you're doing as your purpose project. It's my project. And this could go for everyone, right? It's like, look, this is a thing that, if possible, like I know I might not be able to do this right out of school, but right now I might have a full-time gig, but this is something that I love to do so much. Like, I just love it. I love it. I would do this at 8:30 at night. I would do this at 10:30 at night. Like, I love doing this. And right now it's a project, but I have intentions for this project to turn into my mission, my purpose mission. So when you introduced me, Katie, you said, this guy's a millionaire, but he loves what he does. I think one of the keys is that when I decided to move into this sector, I called it my project. This is my project. And this eventually is going to turn into my purpose and my mission and my calling. And sometimes when you do that, you behave different. Words matter. Words really do matter. So I think that's what I would say to you all. When your calling in life can match up to where you're actually making income, like, that's when you become really, really untouchable. Like, whether I get paid or not, I'm doing this podcast. It doesn't matter. Okay. It doesn't matter. And people feel that, and they can feel that. They know that it's real. It's authentic. They feel the passion. I've got all the stories. I can, I just love this, y'all. Olympics is going, I don't freaking care. I want to do this. This is what I've been looking forward to all day. I mean, the gymnastics is cool and all, but this is what I'm looking forward to. So let's look at everything we're doing as our purpose project. Okay. And then let's say, look, this is what I'm going to do. This is my project. This is my mission. And I'm going to spend, maybe I can only spend 2 hours a week, 3 hours a week, 4 hours a week, maybe 2 hours a month, whatever the case is. And then we're going to build from there. That would be my piece of advice.
Oh, I love all of it. I'm trying to write down notes and I love that. I always talk about finding your why and why you're doing something. I'll say with Dietitian Side Hustle, I started this as a hobby. I never intended it to make any money. I just was something that I loved. I've worked with dietetic interns for a long time and I love mentoring, supporting, giving back to them. And I just realized I can talk into a microphone and reach more people with a podcast. And
Right.
now Dietitian Side Hustle, because I think I followed with my heart and with my passion, has really become the bigger income generator in my business. And so I think sometimes I see dietitians who are trying to formulate, okay, I'm going to start the side hustle, but I'm looking for what's going to make me the most money. And I see them over here doing something and they're making money. So I'm going to do that too. Where I think we really got to focus on what are our strengths, what are we good at, what do we love, and follow with our heart and our passion. And the money does come. So I love that perspective. And I love that, making it your project. So,
Project.
that is.
Yeah. That's a huge one. That's
Yeah.
a huge one. Guys, here's the deal. The deal is that, I have made millions of dollars through my ability to communicate. And when your heart is in it, like something's able to come out and touch people that me just going after the check can't do. Right now, I do understand that, hey, sometimes you got to do things that you got to do. And there's some good to that too, right? Like I talk to my clients all the time about, you got to be a professional. Like not every single thing you're going to do, you're going to love 100% of the time, all the time. Okay. So there is this thing of being a professional that, hey, I've got to do what I need to do. But when you play the long game, and you guys, that's what I do. I play the long game. I know that it's important for me to work on the thing that I love, because that's when the magic comes out. Like, I know this interview is going to be magical. I don't even know what I'm going to say. I just know it's going to be magical because I know everything is coming from my heart. I know that when I teach my students, everything's coming from my heart. It's coming from experience. It's real life experience. It's not theory. It's not this. It's real life, and I've just gone through a lot, and it just brings out the best in me. So I just think that, yeah, okay, fine. You could go after things here and there, like for the time being. But if this is my project, this is where it's like, this is where I'm going to impact millions of people. And if you keep that in mind, then I don't know. I just feel like that's just going to be the best thing for you all long-term. Right. And so just keep that in mind. Understand that even if you have to do the thing right now for a little bit of money here and there, okay, I get it, but never take your eyes off the project. Just don't, because it takes a while. Even if you love it, just because you're passionate, it still takes a while. Being able to get people to trust you, being able to resonate with people, being able to figure out what people, it's a process. It could go faster, but it is all a process. So there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this totally runs into my next question, because I was going to ask you a little bit more about mindset, because, you're someone who's made it from like boots on the ground, healthcare professional to a millionaire healthcare professional. So kind of in line with this, can you share a little bit more with the group about the type of mindset that they're going to need to take this journey?
Oh gosh, we could go on with this one for hours. Okay, so this is the biggest thing. I think we all have to come to grips on the money impact link. Mm-hmm. Like we have to we have to get comfortable with this. As a healthcare professional, I was very uncomfortable talking about money. Any talk about money automatically inferred greed. Corporate. I think of Enron. I think of Health South, Richard Scrushy. I'm just telling you what I think of. I'm a physical therapist. So I think of, they did some funny business behind the scenes. Money is evil. All money is evil. You're going to have to rewire your whole thinking. That's honestly, y'all, that's the biggest thing that I do with people is I rewire their thinking when it comes to money and earning money. Here's how earning money works in my world. In my world, I understand this. I'm a Christ follower. I understand that I am one of God's children. I understand that my main purpose on earth is to serve God's other children. You are one of God's children. My job is to serve you. Now, I can't serve all of you because the things that I am specialized in with serving people, you might or might not need. I think most of y'all need what I have, but you might or might not need it. But that's my job. And what I understand today is that when I have money, money is just a token that God has given me because I have served so many of you. So my bank accounts are a reflection of two things: the types of problems that I am solving for people that's serving them. That's number one. And the amount of people that I am solving problems for. So now let's go back to 2000. 2000, I'm a brand new licensed physical therapist. I'm making $39,000 a year. Was I helping people? Yeah, I was. Was I helping people with massive problems? Well, what I was doing wasn't that much different than any other physical therapist. I was a brand new grad, okay? All right, I'm helping, I don't know, 15, 20 people a day. Okay, like whatever. All right, cool. I'm doing my thing, but listen, I'm making more money than what I was making when I was working at Perry Ellis at the mall. At the mall, I was helping people with trying on dress shirts, trying on pants, okay? Like anyone could do that, all right? But as a physical therapist, look, you had to have a license, and I didn't have any specialty, but not everybody could rehabilitate someone from a knee injury or whatever, right? Okay, same thing with you as a registered dietitian, right? Okay, not everybody could do that. All right, cool. But when I now have a business and I now have the ability to help more people, or I have the ability to help people in a unique way because of the way that I want to do it is the way that Greg wants to do it. The way that I'm delivering the care, because I like music, I have energy, this, that, I motivate people. I can say what I want in my clinics, have fun. It starts to attract more people to me. So now I'm helping more people because I'm able to deliver it in a certain way. Okay, now people are attracted to work with me. Now we're helping more people. Am I doing all the work? No, but collectively, because of my business, we're helping more people. Greg's bank account is raising. You guys see this? Yeah. Your bank account is a direct correlation to the amount of people you're serving right now. If you're not happy with it, I love you. You guys know I love you, but you're probably not helping a lot of people. Let's face it. Okay? Or you're not helping people with really big problems. This is where I want to talk to you all that I think this is really important. When you are stuck in a way that someone else is saying, this is how you have to do it. And for you all as registered dietitians, for the most part, you've been told this is kind of our protocol. This is how you're going to serve people. Well, that then bottlenecks you, right? Because now you can't serve people at a higher level because you know you can help them with really big. And by the way, whether y'all know it or not, you saw massive problems. You saw massive problems. But the way that you serve people, especially when you're kind of have your hands tied behind, your back, it kind of limits on the level of how you can serve them. So when you are serving people with big problems and creating big solutions, you get a big energy exchange, and the energy is usually money. And when you're serving a lot of people, you're getting multiple energy exchanges, which is money. And that's the mindset that I have today. And because I have that mindset, when I see my bank accounts growing, I'm able to look and see, wow, I helped 35% more people this month than I did the prior month. That all makes sense. So I really like the idea of serving people. Let's just serve more. And I know that the money will follow. And if the money's not there, I can look over here on this side and be like, wow, you really didn't serve as many people as you used to serve. And that's why I want to make as much money as possible, because I want to serve as many as possible. Now, that's my question to you all. Do you want to serve as many people? Do you really want to? Because if you really want to, and you really have intention to, that means that more than likely you're going to be very, very, very wealthy. But if you don't get that fixed, you're going to run into a lot of conflict.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's something that a lot of dietitians can relate to, because I know that dietitians, we come into this field because we want to make impact and we want to help people. It's a helping field. That's what healthcare is. Right. So yeah, that's awesome. So kind of shifting gears, but staying along the same vein. I know that dietitians are notorious for being perfectionists. It's something that I have struggled with, and honestly, sometimes still struggle with. And I think when we combine, like, not necessarily knowing exactly what we want to do in our business or side hustle or even our niche, and then you combine that with not knowing how to do it. So the process, the tech, and then we throw in that perfectionism, it just leads to total overwhelm and inaction. So we have these dreams that are in our heads, but they never come to fruition. So what tips would you have for people to get started and make their dreams a reality?
Oh, geez. I mean, here's what I would say. You can take that identity of, let's just say you are a perfectionist. Okay. I mean, all y'all, trust me, I work with a lot of y'all dietitians. Okay, fine. You're perfection. By the way, you would make a great, great, great assistant for me. Okay. Like if any of y'all are like, look, I want to hang this thing up with the dietitian thing, and you want to be like my second assistant, I will hire you in a heartbeat, because y'all are so anal about things. It's absolutely amazing. Okay. All right. Okay. So I love y'all for that. All right. But here's the deal. You could use the perfectionist ways that you have. You could use it to your advantage. You could also use it to your demise. See, I would say this, and this is something that I've told, Katie, I'm like, look, I love your high standards. See, having this perfectionism creates really high standards. And honestly, that's a great separator in the marketplace. Okay. That's fantastic. But if you use the perfectionism to make you not do anything because it's not good enough, you're never good enough, well, then I'm going to say this to you. And by the way, you guys know I love you, right? Okay. All right. I'm just saying these things because it's just really important for y'all to break through with this. Then the truth is, it's not just the perfectionist. It is that you have a fixed mindset. You do not have a growth mindset. You guys want me to go through fixed and growth mindset? Y'all want to hit that? Okay.
Yes.
All right. So a fixed mindset is that you take on the identity of something, and that makes you. And you have no ability to change that. So somehow when you came out the womb, you were a perfectionist, and there's no way that is changing. No, here's the deal. You have high standards, and you want other people around you to have high standards as well. But you are not a perfectionist. You are someone that has high standards. But you said, remember, you're the one that said it. I didn't. You said that you wanted to have impact. You said you wanted to be able to help tons of people, which means you're going to make a lot of money if you do that. Okay. And that means if you're going to help lots of people, that means that you're going to have to put yourself out there. That means that you're going to have to do it usually faster than everybody else. That means that even if someone else has done it, you're going to do it in your unique way. And you're not going to do it perfect. You're not going to do it perfect out the gate. You're not going to do it perfect the third time. You're not going to do it perfect the 10th time. You're not going to do it perfect the 15th time. People that have a growth mindset understand that. And I can tell you something. There are dietitians out there that are making some serious bank.
Yep. And
they have that perfectionist thing just like you, but they also have been able to understand that we need to adopt a growth mindset instead of a fixed mindset. I do not have the identity of a perfectionist. That is not who I am. I have high standards. I have high standards. But I understand that I need to go out there and do the thing. And it's not going to be perfect. But I'm not perfect. Now, if you take on the identity of a perfectionist, you're screwed. Because the minute that you don't do something that is perfect, well, you are now the worst perfectionist there is out there. And that's just a slippery slope. You do not want to go there. You need to adopt the growth mindset and not the fixed mindset. Do not take on the identity of anything.
Yeah.
Okay? That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's really important for dietitians to kind of understand and reflect on, because that could either hold us back from getting started, or you get started, you fail once and you're like, oh, I knew I couldn't do it.
Right.
So really important concepts to dig into. And if you want to learn more about a fixed versus a growth mindset, I'd recommend reading the book Mindset by Carol Dweck. I recently listened to on Audible. It's real good. So awesome. So next, I am hoping that you can share more about the Raise Your Income Challenge that you have starting next week. Now, I want to preface this by saying that I completed a different version of the same challenge. That was the 2120 Healthcare Challenge. And again, it radically changed my life. This challenge helped me to see what was possible and to learn what I needed to do to take the next steps when it came to my business. So I hope that everyone listening seriously considers joining this, because it is going to be so good. And I do have some fun bonuses that I'm going to mention later that if you join through my affiliate link, you're going to get access to. So take it away, GT, and share more about the Raise Your Income Challenge.
Yeah. So this is really exciting. Last year I did the 2120 Healthcare Challenge. We had lots of people go through that. I think it was at 16 at that point. 16 different healthcare professionals went through that. Hundreds of people. It's fantastic. But I wanted to do something different this year. I did that right before COVID hit.
Yep.
Okay. And it's absolutely crazy because so many people had their best year of their lives during what was the worst year of so many other people's lives when it comes to business. It was not a great year, on a whole, right? But when it comes to business, there's a lot of people in healthcare struggled. And it's amazing to see how many people were able to catapult themselves. And it was because of that challenge. But look, the world is different now. The world is different. The landscape is even different from when I did the 2120.
Yep.
So I've decided that I've got to change it. I've got to make it even better. And I also know that I'm better. Just being honest with y'all. This is what happens when you work on yourself every single day. Just because I make millions of dollars a year doesn't mean, I understand this is the growth mindset. I understand that I've got so much more to go. I want to be a better husband. I want to be a better father to my 4 kids. I want to be a better neighbor. I want to be a better fisherman too. You know what I mean? I want to be a better entrepreneur. Okay. So I was like, I can do the 21 days and get the main gist of it and more. And I could do it in 5. And I've done it. And now I want to do it totally live. I can't even tell you how excited I am for this. I've never been to a program that I've done, especially live. It's a different way of teaching. Okay. All right.
Yep.
You're not going to fall asleep. Let's just put it like that. All right. So I'm going to be doing a live 5-day challenge next week. The first day, I'm going to be going through a lot of the mindset. I'm going to be teaching you how not to trade time for money. By the end of it, you're going to know how not to trade time for money. You're going to know how to generate recurring revenue as a healthcare professional. You're going to learn how to communicate so that you can become a person of authority. And when you become a person of authority, that's when you're able to get people to trust you. That's when you're able to get products and services and brands to trust you. And the truth of the matter is that as great as you all are in your respective field, you have not worked on and mastered these particular skills. And so that's the reason why people crush it when I teach this stuff, is because they've never really learned it and they've never mastered it. And I've mastered it and I know how to teach it. And if you're interested in not exclusively trading time for money, you're interested in generating recurring revenue, if you're interested in giving yourself as much of a raise as you want, you will join this 5-day challenge next week.
Awesome. So I think that alone is more than enough to sign up, but I want to ensure that each and every one of you who sign up for this challenge through my link, get the most out of it. So that way it can be as radically life-changing for you as it was for me way back in the start of 2020. So I dropped my affiliate link in the comments. And when you join through my affiliate link, you're going to get the Dietitian Side Hustle upgrade with 3 awesome bonuses. So here's what you're going to get, guys. You're going to get access to my Raise Your Income Dietitian community. So this is going to be a community with other dietitians notifications. I'm going to send out reminders like, hey guys, get on the call. What were your takeaways? It's going to provide that accountability and community that we need to get the most out of this challenge. Because I know sometimes we could like maybe get off this call and be like, yes, I'm going to take over the world. But then when the event comes, you're like, oh, I'm busy. I'm going to go do this. I'll watch the replay later. And then later becomes never. So I want to provide this community for you guys so that you get the most out of it. So that way you can be started on this path to really, start the side hustle of your dreams, have the business you've always wanted, get the most out of your life, have back the time to do those things that you want to do and love to do. So that's number one, the community. Number two is you're going to get access to my Create More Time Masterclass, because we all need some extra time to make our dreams a reality, right? So you guys know that I have a full-time job. I am a mama. I've got multiple little side hustle project businesses going on, and I really figured out how to master the time game. So I'm going to be providing my masterclass to help you guys figure out if you're thinking like, how am I going to have time to do this? I'll show you how. It's okay. And then number three is I'm going to provide with you guys with my Raise Your Income Roadmap. Now, we dietitians, we like a good roadmap. We like a good checklist. And this is really going to help us to get the most out of the challenge, to make sure that we are, going through the things, doing all the things we need to do, and essentially just help provide that roadmap as you go through this challenge. So I have added that in the link in the comments, and I am available if you guys have any other questions about those. But we still have a little bit of extra time. So if any of you guys who are watching live have some questions, type them below, and, GT can share some more knowledge and some more inspiration for you guys.
I'm totally willing to answer whatever questions y'all have. I got to tell you something. You might want to take Katie up on this and just use her link, because I'm here. Katie has a checklist for me. By the way, this thing right here is the Get Time Planner. This is my planner. I created this thing. And you know who gets me to get through the planner? Katie. She created a checklist for me every single day. Y'all, yeah. I just know that whatever checklist thing, whatever she creates is golden. It is golden. Oh my gosh, I want to sign up through your link, and I'm doing a challenge. Good grief. Yeah, seriously.
Awesome.
No, I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious, people. If you're going to sign up, just sign up through a link. Oh my God. Okay. All right. Go ahead. Questions. I'm good.
So I don't see any questions rolling in yet, but guys, go ahead and drop them below. Jacob May, he shares, he already signed up for this. I signed up because it targets my most pressing challenge, how to get beyond trading time for money. Super excited. And I know, Jacob, you signed up through the link. Gosh, I think it was yesterday. So he was already on it. So I am so excited to have you in the group, Jacob. It's going to be great.
So awesome. It's going to be fantastic. I mean, it's so crazy because, these things that we're going to be discussing, people go to business school for 3 years for this, and they don't even learn these things. People think that, oh my gosh, how am I going to learn? Oh my, let me tell you something, y'all. You don't need 3 years. You don't need that. We could teach you this stuff in days, in days on how to do it. Right. And, a lot of people's like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm, you became a registered dietitian, for crying out loud. I mean, are you serious? Are you saying, here, you know what? I need to say this. There has been nothing. I'm an entrepreneur. I have my practices. I have my coaching and consulting. I have my agency. I do real estate. Okay, cool. And by the way, I have 4 kids. Okay. And they're all homeschooled. Well, one's going to is heading off, to UCF. Okay. But I want to tell you something. And I tell this to people all the time. There's nothing harder than me going to school. The dedication and commitment that it took for me to become a physical therapist, or for you to become a registered dietitian, if you could do that, you could learn how to not trade time for money.
Yes. 100%.
This is where it's what are you identifying as, right? Do you understand that? Do I need to repeat that again? If you can be a registered dietitian, you can do any of those things that I just said. None of them were harder. I'm not saying that I had other things that I had to deal with, like, family not wanting me to go after my dreams. Okay. I didn't have that going after my dreams as a physical therapist, right? Okay. Because that was the norm, right? Okay. Me, having practices now that are making, $1 million+ a year, and then saying, hey, I want to go and I want to help healthcare professionals, and having to hear family say, oh, why are you doing that? Wait, weren't you the same family that told me not to open up the business? Okay. You see what I mean? Yo, those are things that I might not have dealt with, but the actual act of doing it, it was no harder than anything I've ever done in school.
Yes, 100%. And I always say that, like, school taught us how to be dietitians, but it didn't teach us how to make money. And that is what being in GT's world has taught me, is these skills on how to make money and how to make impact and,
Right.
Do all the things that we truly want to do. So I'm looking at the comments, and Sue Escobar has signed up. So excited to have you in the group, Sue. And Stephanie has asked, do we get all of that for the regular price or just the VIP link? Now, we didn't talk about the difference between the regular program and the VIP program. When you go to my affiliate link, you'll see the differences. The choice is yours. If you sign up through my link, either one, you will get access. But I'm just going to throw in a recommendation for the VIP. You'll see the differences in there. And I'm not sure if you want to share that, GT, but I know I have paid for the upgrade and I will be in the VIP myself.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, the thing is this, I think, the VIP, there's quite a few more things. And you know what, there's a great lesson to learn off of that as well. But with the VIP, you're going to get, like, the regular class, you'll get me for 60 to 90 minutes. And then after, we'll shut down the regular class for each day. And then all the VIP people will be able to do a private Q&A with me. That's one of the big things that you get in the VIP. You're also going to get this planner. These are how I have my millionaire habits. This is what I use for all of my high level, clients. So we're going to be shipping you that out, and a bunch of other, goodies. But I think the main reason why so many people are signing up for the VIP is to do the Q&A. You have to understand this, Sue. The quality of the questions that you have will dictate the quality of your life. So many of you are 1 or 2 or 3 questions away from changing your entire life. So Stephanie, you don't have to do that. I mean, you don't have to. I think there would be so much value either way, but it's interesting that, and this is probably here, if you guys don't mind, you guys want me to teach you a little bit, like right now? I mean, I got a couple more minutes I can teach you. So,
yes.
One of the interesting things is, like, so I've got the regular price of the Raise Your Income for $97, right? And then the VIP is $297. So why is it that there are as many or more people sign up for the VIP than the regular? Why? Because of this. You have to understand that price is not an issue when there is a presence of enough value. You guys understand that? If people see the value, they would rather give you $297 if they see the value at $1,000 than $97 if they see the value at $400. Right? You guys see what I'm saying? It's like, they're like, well, I'm going to get more bang for my buck with this. Okay. Here, can I give you, for those of you all that are on the live, I want to present this to you. Okay. If I said to you right now, right? And I don't know if y'all care for cars or whatever, but if I said, hey, there's a Tesla, okay? And you could get a brand new Model 3 Tesla for $20,000. No, I'm talking brand new. Like one of those where you could press the button and the car moves all over the place. Brand new for $20,000, but you got to get it within 5 days. I mean, would you do it? I think most of you would do it, because if those cars are about $55,000 to $60,000, so you would figure out a way to get to $20,000 because it's of so much value. You can either keep the car or you could sell it and you can make 3 times the amount on the car. Okay, great. You would find a way, even if you didn't have that $20,000, you would find a way to get that $20,000 within the next 2 to 3 days, so you can take people up on a deal. Okay, great. Now, I want to present this to you all. And I want you to think of the last time that you were at the grocery store. Because at the grocery store is where I usually see newspapers. Now, if somebody said to you, hey, I got this newspaper here. It's usually $1. I'll sell it to you for 75 cents. Would you buy it? I would say most of you wouldn't. Now, if you said 50 cents, would you buy it? Probably not. 25 cents? You guys, price has nothing to do with it. If you see it's valuable, you will buy it. If you offer me a newspaper for a penny and I saw no value in the newspaper besides it just taking up space in my car, I'm still not going to buy it. So how comes I'm not buying that for a penny, but I'm buying this for 20,000? It's because the perceived value to me is so much more here. That's one of the things that you all really need to understand. Is as dietitians, are you communicating the perceived value of what it is that you do so that you're able to raise your income? That's just one component of it. I can't wait to teach all of it next week. But you guys, this is such a huge point. And Katie can tell you this. Katie has clients. She has, many businesses, this and that. Katie's one of my clients. Like when you can present the perceived value of something to where people are like, yeah, this just makes sense. And you create that transaction. You want to know what that creates? Creates a really good client. When people pay good money, they are more invested and they follow through. They're happier. You're happier. You don't go to sleep or wake up dreading anything. You can't wait to serve them, and they can't wait to continue to get the transformations. There you go.
Yes, 100%. So we have one more, actually it's a two-parter question. So the first part is, could it help, the challenge help for nutrition consults? How so? And then also, what is in the planner? I love a planner.
Okay. So let's talk about nutritional consults. Sure. One of the, I'm a coach. And I would say of the 800 plus people that I've helped start a business, I'd probably say probably 35 to 40% are coaches, right? Mm-hmm. So a lot of what we do are consults. The planner will help, the challenge will help you with raising your income with consultations. And I'll show you exactly how to do that. And not raise your income like 10%. I will show you how to double it. I'll show you how to double it. A hint is this. Now, it's not this itself, but it's just, you'll see when I talk about it next week. So let's talk about this. The GT Planner. Yes! The GT Planner is basically, so if you guys don't mind, I'll give you just a quick backstory on this. I love planners too. I guess maybe I do have a little dietitian in my soul. I don't know. Maybe I have that. I don't know. But anyways, I love planners as well, because I know that throughout my life, I wasn't maybe as aware of it in the beginning of my career as a PT. I've been a PT now for 21 years, right? I'm not practicing anymore in the clinics over the last 4 or 5 years, but I've been a licensed physical therapist for 21 years now. And I do know this. I do know that my life is infinitely better. My ability to impact, my income, my relationship with my wife, my relationship with my kids, my health is better based on my habits. I know that when things are bad or things aren't as optimal as I'd like, when I look at my habits, I'm like, okay, wow, that's not serving me. I didn't even realize it. Okay. So what I do is I have a planner, but I've never really been able to find a planner that has all the things that Greg Todd has done to get himself from a bootstrapped $19 an hour therapist to making millions of dollars a year. And by the way, when I say millions of dollars a year, like I don't work 60, 70, 80. I don't do that. I'm working, between 18 to 30 hours a week. Okay. So that's what I mean. So how do I do that? How do I have more time? No, I just have really, really solid habits that I do all the time. And so I said, I'm going to create my own planner. I like Brandon Bouchard's one, but it didn't have this. I like this person's one. I like Michael Hyatt's. Okay. All right. No. I need to have every single thing that I do, from working out to reflecting so that things don't bother me, to the types of things that I'm working on every single day, the 4 levels of value. You'll learn about that in next week. Okay. All the things that I need to do in a day, what things I need to get done. What did I get done? My personal development, the message to myself, because you are your boss. What does boss say every single day? Okay. You guys want to hear what I said today? You guys want to hear it? Here's what I said today. Greg, don't forget that you're helping people every day, whether it's from something you've done today or from 8 years ago. Find comfort in that. Yeah. Okay. So listen, every single day, these are the things that I have, and I tally it up, and it tells you, like you won't be like, oh my gosh, why are things not working? No, like my planner exposes you, but my planner also keeps you on track to do the things that I know will, over time, will reap amazing benefits in your life. So it's called the Get Time Planner. You can get it at gregtoddtv.com/Get Time Planner. I don't know, something like that. Just go on my website, or you can sign up for the Raise Your Income Challenge through Katie's link. And if you sign up for the VIP, we actually are shipping them out this week to everyone that signs for the VIP. You'll actually have a Get Time Planner in your hands by the time the challenge starts. I'm like, they'll be at your door.
Yes. And I use the Get Time Planner too. I am on my 3rd one. It's a 90-day planner. And I feel like I've always been good with time management, but I feel like what the planners helped me with is a couple things. I think it's helped me to shift to where I'm spending my time in the highest levels of value. So doing the things that are actually moving my business forward, and not that busy work we sometimes think we need to do.
Right.
And I think when it comes to talking about the concept of getting back more time, I think the first thing we have to do is audit, where is our time actually going? Because if we don't know where our time is going, how are we going to figure out how to, to change anything? So yes, big fan of the planner. And going to our comments, Sarah Glasser is in here saying, I'm laughing because I know how much GT loves his planner. He gets so excited every time, and rightly so. And then
okay. All right. So by the way, I love Sarah. She's fantastic. She's fantastic.
Yes.
So I think there's a couple things, right? When something, like, it is so amazing that we can create things that we usually create things for us. Like, I want to tell you this, as amazing as Katie is, right? The things that she's serving you all with, she was creating and trying to figure things out for herself. And when something starts to change your life, right? Like you just, and it really in your heart, it changes your life. You just want to share it with people. You just want to share it, right? It's no different than like an epic movie comes out, right? This epic movie comes out, and like, oh my God, you guys got to see it. You guys got to see this. Okay, all right. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's like, this thing has radically shifted my life. I created it because, I got to be honest with you, people have been on me like, GT, like, you're so disciplined, you're so structured. Like, how you do it? I was like, all right, one day I'm gonna do this, but I'm like, gosh, man, I'm gonna have to do this, go do edits, go do that. It's like, all right, let me just do it. And I had no idea that this would actually get me out of a rough place, because here, I'll tell y'all real quick. Like, I actually took off some time last year, and during the time that I took off, I had all my advisors saying, dude, you realize that you're 42 years old and you don't ever have to work another day in your life? And I'm like, what? Huh? And then I was like, all right, let me take off another month, I guess. And guys, I came back with like none of the structure that I built for all these years. This thing right here got me back on track. The thing I created like a year prior, I just finally got them, and it got me back on track. This thing is, I mean, look, without it, Katie's not in my world. Yep. Without it, so many things would not have happened. And I just know that if you were to use this thing and use it intentionally, I know that it could literally get you out of wherever you're at right now. And it would be an amazing tool. I think it's the greatest thing I ever created. Straight up. So,
Awesome. So one more comment I wanted to read. Jacob shared, talking about the challenge. He said, for anyone deciding between the two options, I did opt To add on for the VIP, it seemed worth it from my perspective after reviewing. For reference, I also have a full-time job, a small side hustle up and running. And I will say he also volunteers a lot like I do within the field. So I know Jacob is busy too. So
that's
thanks,
awesome.
Jacob.
Jacob, I'm excited to work with you and serve you next week. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Awesome. So we are at the end of our questions and we are getting close to an hour. So this show's typically 15 to 20 minutes. I come live in the group every Monday. We're normally 15, 20 minutes, but I know you, I knew we're going to go long, so it's all good.
Well, I hope that worked out for y'all. You know, I hope I brought a little bit of value and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yes, it was so good. So thank you so much for being on. I really appreciate it. I hope that I know that everyone got a ton of value from this. So if you watch this, go ahead and comment replay below. Let me know your greatest takeaway. I'd love to know more about like what you got from this conversation. And if you want to sign up for the challenge, like my link's there. I'll be talking about it more, but I am so darn excited for this and I'll be going through the challenge with you guys. So yeah, thank you so much.
You let me know all of the people that have signed up for the challenge. And when I am going live and I'm doing a training, I will make sure that I personally shout them out because, you know, I will shout people out right in the middle of my trainings and stuff like that. So just let me know who it is and they will get a personal shout out from me.
Okay. I will let them know. Okay. Take care. Bye, guys.